Hi, I'm Eileen Roach from Designs and Machine Embroidery, and I'm excited to be here with you today. I'm sharing my number 7 top gift of 2019 gift making list. So we have had some great gifts that I've shared with you. Our first one was fringe earrings, and then we went on to an eyeglass case made in the hoop, patches, because you can make them for anybody, any kind of interest, metallic thread ornaments to decorate both packages and a tree or home decor. And then we did hats, which were quite fun. And then t-shirt remakes is always one of my favorite topics. And I know they were a great gift idea for any lady that's on your list. Last week, was our t-shirt. So this week I'm going to share with you small projects that are all done in the hoop. Hi, Teresa Uber. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Where are you from, Teresa? Let's see where she's from. I forget. She had told us before. I know that we've had her online before. So let's see. So we're going to try again. And we have a little error here, I think. Yeah, so we're just going to hold on and wait. And hello, Retha from Wyoming. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us again. It's great to have you here. It's snowy up there. Well, today here in Texas, it's hot and muggy. It's 72 degrees, but I am not complaining. And Teresa, you're in Florida. Oh, I have a sister who's going to be a neighbor of yours very soon. My Stitchin' Sisters heading down there south. And Marilyn, nice to have you here from Bellevue. That's great, in the UK. Wow. And Priscilla, you're a neighbor here in Texas. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to get going. We're going to share with you a number of choices that you can have for gift number 3, because we love to do projects in the hoop. And I have 9 different collections to share with you. So these are our Stitch Swag collections. Everything is done in the hoop. Our first was Nifty Notebooks, or this is Snazzy Snap Covers. Really fun. We used vinyl, marine vinyl to make it, and added some decorative fabric for the inside and some of the applique. We'll take a closer look at that. These adorable, fancy little mini totes. I mean, these are mini. These are like for candy or lipstick or something like that. That's adorable. Charm bags. I have a couple step outs to share with you on charm bags. These are a great way to elevate, let's say, a gift card or some homemade baked goods or candy. And then for those who have pets at home that they love, we have little dog houses that are 3D, super cute. And a really fun favorite is a watch collection. And there are 7 different watches that you can do, all within the hoop. They have some embellishment, some are floral, some are more masculine. So that would be good for men on your list also. And then we have another set of Nifty Notebooks, because our first collection was so popular, we had to come out with more. And in here, you'll see there's space for monogramming. There's also an anchor, a holly leaf, and also some fall leaves. So they're super fun. We have another clutch collection, because we're all about clutches. We love that. And this is a iPhone case, cell phone case, so you can keep your phone and credit cards all together. And another crowd favorite is the fingerless gloves. These are perfect for you people who are up there in that cold weather, like Faye in Michigan. There are, let's see, 12 different ideas and with types of fabric that you could use and different embroidery designs. And in this collection, you actually get a printed pattern, a PDF that you would print out. So this is, you would just tile this together, tape it together, and this gives you the placement for your embroidery design. And it also has the opening for the thumb, because, you know, those 3/4 length sleeves are so popular in ready wear, but boy, if you're up in Michigan, that is cold. So I know I like to have that extension, that fingerless glove. It looks great. It's great for outerwear also, because, you know, lots of us want to be on our phone, and you can't be on your phone with gloves. even though I buy those gloves that say, oh, you can use your phone. Liar, liar, pants on fire, right? Anyway, I think you'll like those fingerless gloves. So I'm going to move these out of the way, and then let's go over to and get a close-up of some of these samples so you can see exactly what we're going to be stitching out today. So here we have the notebook collection. And it has a variety of different monogram shapes and openings. Like here is a circular one, but we also have a square one. And so this is kind of masculine, and it can also be feminized, you know, whatever your style is. The other collection features a shark, a hot air balloon, a kite, a pretty flower. If you jump on our website, you'll see quite a different collection. Here's the watch. Look how pretty that is. So you would just buy a watch face or use an older watch that's maybe in your jewelry drawer and cut off, you remove the existing band and make a decorative band. Let's take a closer look at the charm bag. The charm bag comes in 5 sizes. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's actually 5 over there. So any size hoop really can do a charm bag. So let's head back over to the table so I can show you how those 5 different sizes. So the smallest one is for a 5x7 hoop, and then they go up in size from there, with the largest for an 8x14. Great idea to elevate a gift card or to use it, you know, to put baked goods in. So I stitched out just the basic frame so that you could see. Now, because there are a variety of embroidery designs that come in this collection, like for instance, the hot air balloons or some decorative flowers and so forth, they would also be a part of the embroidery design. But basically, it's a grid that you stitch onto the fabric, the stabilizer, and your lining fabric all in one hooping. And then you follow the instructions. And did I tell you there are, let's see, 13 pages of instructions, printable PDF that you would print that will walk you through it every, you know, step of the way. You get full color instructions. So I think you'll enjoy that. And then once you take it out of the hoop, I like to use a pinking shear scissor to cut the top, so you kind of have that little zigzag edge, which gives it a little decorative finish. And then you just follow those grid lines that are stitched. Go to your ironing board, fold them in, press those edges, and trim those flaps open. See those flaps, how they open? And then you'll just place a bead of glue along this short edge and work the flaps around so that it closes. You want those short flaps to be inside, and push a little dab of glue as you go really goes a long way. And then with that glue on this last strip, it all stays together, and there's your bag. Now this stitches in 3 minutes. So literally in an hour, you could do, oh my goodness, 20, right? Or, you know, less. You're going to be rehooping and so forth. But you could do this if you have a group of sewing friends, or maybe, you know, quilters. You're in a quilting group at your church or your community, you know, and you were looking for something small to give a large group. You know, one afternoon, you can get all that done. Super fun. But a very popular one is those notebooks. So let's take a look at that. I had at home some really kind of fun aqua colored alligator vinyl. You know, it's not the real thing, believe me, but you know, isn't it fun? So here's my first color, which I hoop tearaway stabilizer, and then I lay my piece of vinyl in the opening, and then I stitch color 1. And I'm going to turn the hoop around so you can see. So color 1 tacks down that vinyl. It also gives you the placement guide for your monogram. So you would just stitch all of that. You can use contrasting color thread so you can see it really well. This outer line will be trimmed off later, so you don't have to worry about that. Once you get that completed, you then stitch, add your applique fabric, and I've already trimmed it out here. And here I added a monogram. So I did that with my machine. Right at the machine, I brought in built-in lettering. Now, of course, if you have software, you would have so many more choices on fonts, and you could really have a lot of fun with what you put in that circle. After that is complete, it's time to add our lining. And our lining, now I marked up the placement guides here. So placement guides are stitched in that first color, and that shows you where to place this lining fabric, which is 6 inches by 6 inches. I'm doing the small notebook in this hooping, and I just position that down. I use painter's tape to hold it on the back of the hoop, and I stitch the next color, which is going to tack that down, and it's going to add placement marks for my flaps, right? So let's take a look at that. Here we have the next hooping. So I have, already stitched everything that you just saw, and my lining has been added, and now I have tacked down my flaps. And you'll notice I use painter's tape, and I place it on all those edges, because often when we add something to the back of a hoop and we go to slide it on the machine, that fabric on the back of the hoop can be pulled away from the stabilizer, and that's a nightmare, I know. So use your tape, make sure you get that whole edge covered. And before you press go, take a final look. I actually sit at the machine and kind of lift that hoop ever so gently with the foot up, and make sure everything is still aligned, that we don't have any of the flaps folded over on itself. Now it's ready to come out of the hoop. The next color that I stitch is this inner outline, and that goes all the way around. It's inside that original outline, and that's my cut line. So, well, I'm going to cut just beyond that. So I take that out of the hoop, and then I cut. And here I have one just about finished. So I have taken it out of the hoop and I've cut it. Here's the lining on the back. And I'm going to insert a little notebook in there so you can see where it goes. Sorry, I dropped that on the floor. These notebooks are tiny little notebooks. The dimensions are included in the instructions, but frankly, we get them at the dollar store. So easy to find. So I just slip it right into that flap and then kind of work it a little bit so that, I might have to bend that flap back a little bit so I can work it into the front cover. And once it's all centered and folded over, isn't that great? And it's done. Now I can add a snap if I'd like. There is a placement mark for the snap stitched in that design file. You can use the cam snaps. These are available on the web or maybe your local dealer, but easy to find. Dritz also makes heavy duty snaps that you can apply. You would just cut a hole into all of the pieces. There is a small little circle that's been stitched here. It shows you exactly where to place it. And my Stitch and Sister, Marie, and I did these on our Stitch and Sister cruise several years ago. And we had 60 people. Everybody made one of these. Everybody finished it. They were all successful. It was really fun. So this file here, without the monogram, takes 4 minutes to stitch. When you add the letter, it's 6 minutes to stitch. That's at a stitch speed of about 800 stitches per minute. Is that fast or what? I mean, literally, you can get a whole pile of these done in no time. And what a nice gift. I love this alligator, faux alligator vinyl that I used. I was a little worried about it because it has an awful lot of texture. I didn't have any problem at all. I used a sharp needle and, sharp embroidery needle, size 80-12, and didn't have any problem at all. So that was super fun. So let's see. I think we had some problem with sound. Are we okay with this? Candia. I love that name. That's pretty. And Jill, you're in Flower Mound. You are really my neighbor. I live in Flower Mound also. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Candia, aren't they fun? And just imagine all the different colors that you can do. Let me bring over some other colors so that you can see these. And they do come in 2 sizes, right? So this is the small one that I just did. And then this is a much larger one that you would use with like a spiral bound notebook. But these are really great. These are on special this week, so I hope you take advantage of that. All of those 9 collections are on special, and I believe they're all downloadable. So you're going to get a special code at the end of this Facebook session. So are there any questions that maybe you have about some of these collections? I know that some people have been wondering, is it okay to stitch vinyl in the hoop, on an embroidery machine? I hope that you would experiment with that, because it sure is. You get great results. You have to be careful about heavy satin stitches, because that can perforate a vinyl. But as long as it's just a simple satin stitch without a lot of heavy fill and so forth, you're not going to have any problems at all. Oh, Donna, you've already made some of these. Aren't they great? And to give them, I mean, people love them. They're just so touched when you hand them something that you made. Oh, and Benita, we are out of metallic thread, but it is coming in very soon. So let's see. You just have to kind of keep an eye on the website, and we'll be shipping that fairly soon. We had a greater demand for that this year than we ever anticipated. So next year we'll be more prepared for that with inventory. But that's a good thing to run out. Right? It's better than, how about cork? Teresa, cork is a great idea for notebooks. Absolutely. Cork is not unlike the vinyl, really. All of the cork has some kind of cloth backing so that it's nice and sturdy. And the cork would be great because the edges finish really, there is no need to finish the edge. It doesn't ravel. So I think that's a great idea. The cork would be great. So popular today. Yeah. And well, next week is Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday. We won't be here, obviously. It's on Thursday, so we're going to take that week off. Well, not the whole week, but we won't be here on Facebook Live. And on the following a week in December 7th, I think that is, we'll be doing gift number 2, and I'm super excited about that. Gift number 2 and gift number 1 are December 3rd is when we'll be doing gift number 2. So I'm using the items that you would buy in Target and Kohl's and Walmart, or maybe online. So anyway, do I have a great source for the marine vinyl? Someone is asking. Well, I get mine locally. I think if you just did an internet search for marine vinyl, you would come up with quite a few choices, but you want to make sure that it's the marine vinyl. You don't want to get the vinyl that you iron on to t-shirts and so forth. That's not going to work. Marine vinyl has a nice hand to it. It's thick. It's what you would use for upholstery mainly. And then somebody wants to know, is cotton quilting fabric okay? Absolutely. Cotton quilting fabric is okay to make these notebooks. Well, for one thing, the notebook has, the cover is going to wind up with a notebook inside, right? But if I was making this just out of cotton quilting fabric, I would interface it with maybe Decor or Peltex Shape Flex Shape, something has a little bit of body. I wouldn't use the foam or the heavy interfacing, just something to give it a little bit of body for sure. You don't even have to find out, you don't even have to treat, the flaps. That's just regular cotton fabric. I didn't treat it at all. You could, fuse a fusible web to the wrong side just so that it has some body, but it's really not necessary. It's just a notebook. I would suggest making it in a pretty color so that you can find it in your handbag, right? Black on the inside is not so good. Let's see. What is the glue that I use? I use Fabric Fusion by Aileen. I like this product. It dries clear. It's readily available. It has a small nozzle, so I do use this a lot. And then I also use Gutermann, makes a really great fabric glue. That's very hard to find, though. So this is another good choice for sure. Donna says Joann's has the vinyl in several different colors. And I believe my local Joann's does too. Not sure about Hobby Lobby, but but look online for sure. Okay, so on December 3rd, we'll be back at 1 o'clock on Facebook Live. And remember, you can also watch us on YouTube. If you do watch us on YouTube, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel, because we'll be posting new videos there all the time. And we're looking forward to seeing you there, and most certainly here on Facebook. So thanks for joining me, and happy Thanksgiving.